Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is, I guess, video 1 in a series of 3 covering the Katsucon experience that I had. I was lucky enough to be deemed worthy of getting a press badge, which means I had some extra area that I was allowed into. I was able to schedule interviews with guests, and so here I am talking about my experience at Katsucon. First time I had been, first time I had actually had a press pass, which I thought was pretty cool. Definitely would be open to talking more about and helping to give exposure to other conventions in the future, because I genuinely do like going to them. It's an interesting experience for sure when you are like one of the few people dressed in street clothes, like just regular clothes, and everyone else is just kind of there being themselves, you know, rocking their favorite cosplay, things like that. It's you almost feel like you're the one in normal clothing, right? But you almost feel like you're the one out of place. So maybe I should cosplay. Maybe that's something I should do. Ike cosplay coming sometime in the near future, maybe. I don't know. He'd have to have a beard. That's the only thing. I'm not shaving my beard. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about it. So, first off, full disclosure, I did pay for my press badge. It wasn't like I wasn't gifted anything or anything like that. Which is totally fine. I'm just being transparent that there wasn't like something, you know, I'm not being paid to promote it or anything like that. I'm just, you know, that's, yeah, that. I had very good interaction with staff pretty much the entire weekend. They were pretty responsive and tentative. The venue was great. It was at the Gaylord National Convention Center in Maryland, if you didn't know. And I think it's always there, if I'm not mistaken. At least I think it was last year and it was this year, obviously. So I'm not sure if that's just like their staple of where they go every year. But if they again have it there next year, I will definitely go again for sure. The overall experience that I had was very positive, and the only thing I will change, however, is I'm not driving. So what Jen and I did, actually, Jenna went with me, my wife, if you don't know. We drove up Friday and Saturday. We didn't go Sunday, just because there wasn't really a whole lot happening then that was going to pique our interest, and it was shutting down by the afternoon anyway. So it wasn't really worth the 2-hour drive up and 2-hour drive back. 4-hour round trip, roughly, especially if there's traffic. But if you do decide to go, I highly encourage you to stay at or near the venue. However, counterpoint, if you are close, the parking is pretty reasonable. We managed to get parking pass, the expensive parking pass, mind you. The prepaid pass for, I think it was like $19 and some change a day, which honestly is not that bad. And the lot was extremely close to the venue. Granted, it was, you know, right up by the river and very cold and extremely windy. But other than that, you know, it's not a bad way to go. So if you're close and you don't want to flip the bill for a couple $100 to stay a night, like I did not want to do, then definitely give it some thought and, you know, maybe drive. Might not be so bad. So yeah, it's overall the place, the people, everything was stellar. There were a handful of guests that I didn't get to see, but I would have very much liked to have seen. Bryce Papenbrook is probably towards the top of that list, because he has just so many stellar titles under his belt. Man, that dude is talent. But either way, I did get a chance to interact with a handful of guests, mostly Erica Mendez and Cherami Leigh, which, if you're interested, in the next 2 days or so. I'm trying to have these uploads like every day for a boom, 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 3 and done coverage. But I will have interviews with those two. I did craft the interviews myself. It was very nerve-wracking. I probably come off pretty nervous, and I was, because I have an immense amount of respect for those two women. And you know, the majority of voice actors or actors that go to conventions and things like that, like, it's got to be stressful. And so, I tried to put my nerves at ease to like make them feel comfortable and not be stressed out by my stressing out. So hopefully that came across appropriately. Either way, that was like a dream come true for me. I've been following their work for a pretty long time. They voiced a lot of my favorite characters in anime and games, and it was surreal to have a 30-minute sit down with each of them, for sure. Super bizarre. Still not 100% sure that it actually happened, except there's video footage, so I guess it must have. But they were both very gracious with their time. Actually, all of the guests that I not only just interacted with, but like saw either through panels or was adjacent to their signing sessions. It was a good group of guests. I don't know why you'd invite a bad guest or like someone who isn't excited to meet people or talk about their projects and things like that, but I'm sure people like that exist, and I'm glad that Katsucon did not get any of those people necessarily. So there's that. The panels were pretty solid. If you're wondering, there's a pretty broad range of like workshops, panels, events. I know there were a couple events that were later in the evening that we didn't go to just because of from time issues, but it's very much, there's something there for everybody, which I think is some cons are kind of hit or miss with that. I mean, there was even like a workshop on how to make enamel pins, for example, like some really strange things, some really good strange things that you might not expect to be at like an anime game convention type thing. But there was a lot of diversity, and I was really impressed by what they had. The panels and things that we went to were run very smoothly. It the lining up process, like, that was all pretty well handled. And I've been to some situations where stuff like that was not handled well at all, and it just kind of took away from the experience. But I never really experienced that, which is kind of nice. Additionally, I got to meet a couple people, Joey, Rachel. That was exciting. If you do end up going to conventions that I like tweet out or whatever, say that I'm going to, definitely like look me up. Like, don't be afraid to say hi or anything. Like, that's totally fine. We got a picture together. That was a thing that happened. And if you know me, I'm not like a huge fan of pictures, but like it was weird because it didn't bother me that time. It didn't bother me, and I was genuinely okay with it. And it's not so much that I dislike taking pictures; it's more that I hate looking at myself. As terrible as that sounds, it's just one of those things that I work on every day, from having poor body image and stuff like that from when I was younger. But it's something I work. But yeah, pictures with viewers and things like that, like I'm genuinely okay with. So if you ever see me or know that I'm going to be there, feel free to look me up. Jenna's there too most of the time. I don't really go to these by myself, so Jenna will also be there if you want to say hi to her. I also got to meet Kaijuicery. Finally, one of my favorite artists that I have been following on Twitter for quite some time. Got to meet him in person. That was pretty hype. I bought a lot of his prints. Like, all the things I was holding out on, I was like, yeah, we'll just get all of them. Cue the print montage right about now, if we could do that. There will be more for all the other artists that I did as well, but this is kind of like scoping into that. There were a lot of great artists there for sure. There were some that I didn't know, and so I want to shout out some of those now. Kamaniki, I think is her name. She had a handful of, well, actually not a handful. She had a lot of diverse prints that I like. I was very surprised at the scope of the work that she had, and she is definitely someone I'm following very closely now to probably buy more stuff. I joked about just having like a rotating sequence of art in the back for like every other month, just change out all the prints, and I think at this rate that may actually happen. Another artist that I found was Raynart, and he, I think, specialized very heavily in Xenoblade, but he had a lot of other pieces too. I was primarily only concerned with Xenoblade because when I see a Mithra print, I get a Mithra print. And they were also, there was like a holographic kind of inlay to them as well. And it was sick. Absolutely sick. So it's definitely a favorite that I had. Also, Kai, like, please go check out Kai. You've probably already seen the pictures in this video, or the prints rather, so definitely go check him out. And then Hey Rockin Robin was the other one who I think had one of my favorite things that I found there that weekend, and it was a Yu Yu Hakusho. I want to say it's kind of like a magazine cover almost. I don't know how else to really describe it, but it was definitely one of the favorite pieces that I found that weekend. But everything I got was just absolutely fantastic for sure. So all the artists information, if you want to follow them wherever, whenever, I'll probably stick to like Twitter and Instagram because I think that's primarily what they focus on. But if you want to go check them out, their links will be in the video description. Please go do that because they are hella talented, and I wish I had that. I wish I had that kind of talent. Actually, it's funny. Kai mentioned something to me about seeing all the flaws in a piece that he had finished, and then never really being like happy with it, like it never being perfect. And I got to thinking, like, that's why I never rewatch or listen to any of my stuff. Like, I don't rewatch or re-listen to anything that I put out, unless it's, editing focus, obviously. But it made a lot of sense to me, and so I connected mentally on that kind of level because I'm obviously not an artist. I can't make beauty with my hands like that, or have that kind of vision for anything. But I can appreciate that level of dedication to your craft, and I think that was something I took away from that weekend for sure. Yeah, so go check them out if you haven't. If you're not familiar with them, definitely do that for sure. And the booths, oh my, oh the booths. There were a lot of good merchant booths there. I think they even had like a professional photography stage studio thing set up in the back, which obviously I did not partake in for picture aforementioned reasons, and I was not in cosplay. But I do have to shout out, Nintendo was there. Like, the Nintendo booth was present, okay? And the game that you could play there on the Switch, I'm pretty sure if you were at Katsucon, and you can confirm or deny this, I believe it was Mario Kart 8. All right, which, no shade, Mario Kart 8 is great. However, this was their handout. This guy here, which, if you're unfamiliar, this is a promo material for Rainbow Rocket from the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon games, which that was back in 2017. You can see it there. Did you know this is available on November 17th, 2017? I was just like, I felt like I was in some sort of weird time loop when I experienced that. So I took a dive, and yeah, that was bizarre. So Nintendo, if you're gonna go to these things, and I'm not sure necessarily how you go about doing this, but maybe get some updated promo stuff. Now, I'm not trying to nitpick, but I love you, Nintendo. This does nothing for anybody. I mean, it looks cool, and the paper is pretty neat. But I mean, it doesn't really. There's nothing really to that. I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I did get some other very precious things that I'm holding dear forever. Aside from all of that stuff, I also did get a signed Bernadette card, Bernie. We also have a signed May card and signed Saros card from Erica Mendez and Cherami Leigh. So those were, those are pretty great. And I have a Byleth that I've been holding on to. So Zach, I'm coming for you come GalaxyCon, which I think is in like a couple weeks at this point. So if you're going to GalaxyCon, not that I'm trying to promo GalaxyCon right now, but GalaxyCon Richmond, I will be there. If conventions are something that you're kind of into, I'll be there. Come say hi. come say hello. I don't really know what else to say. It was a really positive experience. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's mostly just me rambling this whole time about my experience at Katsucon 2020, and I don't know if you're thinking about going, I would definitely go. It was a good experience. Interviews will be coming soon. The only downside on those is we were dealing with convention meeting room lighting and sound. So we doctored the videos up as best we could to make them brighter and sound better. But again, we were not working with studio level settings. But that's okay because it's really mostly a listen thing. So I hope you guys look forward to and enjoy those when those goes live. But that's it for now. So I guess the question of this video, what, if any, convention are you excited to go to this year? Or what have you been thinking about going to? What's an event you're thinking about going to, maybe kind of wanting to go to, not sure if you want to go to? Let me know in the comments. And also if you're thinking you should go to this convention because this one's awesome. Dragon Con in Georgia is definitely on my list to check out, but it will be at Otakon this year as well. But if you have any suggestions, let me know as well. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a stellar rest of your day, your week, your whatever. And until then, I will catch you next time.